let me show you an idea, something I call sub-sub notes. Can you see what might be happening here? I'm holding a single note, holding the note, maybe playing a higher note. Hopefully you spotted this, how I pitched it down 64 semitones, a huge amount. All we have here is one oscillator going through some volume change into a reverb. That's it. Oscillator 2 is disabled. And so, what's happening here? To understand this, you need to think about how this is working, how massive generates sound. When you play a pitch, you're playing that cycle 70 times per second. And so if you played, say, E0 at 41 Hertz, you're literally playing this cycle 41 times per second. That's what it means to play E0. And that's how massive generates the sound. And so if you keep going down, so pitching it down and down and down, in other words, playing lower and lower frequencies, playing that cycle less and less times per second, eventually it starts to sound different. We're hearing this cycle not as a tone, but as two individual hits. You can see that there, 2 hits, 2 percussive sounds in the cycle, but playing a note so low, it's almost once a second. In fact, I'd almost say that's exactly 1 a second. So we're playing this whole cycle once per second. So we're hearing these percussive beats every half a second because we're playing the cycle about once per second. That's approximately the frequency we're playing. If I play a few notes higher, we hear it faster. And so with monophony 1, polyphony mono, so monophony mode, with monophony 1 and glide, as you can see, with gliding from one note to the next, we can create these interesting ideas. Here's another example, exactly the same setup. So I'm playing this cycle, again about once a second or so, an extremely low pitch. You can see these 2 sounds. It's interesting, right? A completely different way to work with cycles. Almost like playing them as samples instead of tones. Normally you'd play it like this. Say 100 or 1,000 times a second. So you're hearing it as a tone and not this rhythmic thing. This one's super odd, but amazing. And a lower note. And again, we're in monophony mode, so it only lets one note play at a time. And we're gliding between the notes, in this case with a long time. Therefore, we can slide around from note to note to create some cool sounds. For this technique, phase is critical. Remember, phase is where in the cycle we start playing from. We're resetting phase down here. So every time I trigger a note, we start at the same position every time, and we determine that position with this phase. So notice it sounds different because phase is where in the cycle we start. So as you can see, phase is critical here. This one's nice. And a lower note. This one's dark, but interesting. Such a unique sound. And in this one, I'm modulating the cycle with this LFO4, a simple up-down over 8 bars, 32 divided by 4. So I'm moving through this cycle over 8 bars or so, creating this epic soundscape. Take a listen. And finally, the same sort of idea on this. Beautiful texture and bubbles. And if I play a higher note, it's different again and interesting. I like it. And so give this a go. Just make sure to pitch it down in the oscillator here to play these cycles more as samples. In this case, say about once a second. Thanks for watching.